This section is about finance, and as Ron would describe it, it's a pain in the something. It's one of the subjects that is going to keep you up at night thinking about where the revenues are coming from, or where how the wage bill is going to be paid. It's the one subject that is all over the news in terms of the lack of finance that's out there for SMEs. We're not going to try and solve the finance conundrum in this 3-minute video, but people are active on the site discussing how do they structure the finances of their business, and where do they go to generate cash flow and revenue and finance for their business. What we've done here is we've tried to simplify all the various calculators into Excel spreadsheets. So all the financial tools that you need, that are kind of the basic financial tools for your business, are downloadable here. We'll say you can you download them, fill them in. It gives you a financial snapshot of your business, but obviously at a certain point of time you have to talk to an accountant and get financial advice around decisions that you're going to make based on those numbers. The other thing that I would say, again based on talking to business people and having gone through it myself, is that finance is as scarce now as it has ever been. The banks have scaled back on what they're lending. The government finances on rag order, so they're not giving out as much grant aid money and equity finances they've had in the past. Customers aren't spending because they've battened down the hatches. But it's still your responsibility to keep the business financed. So when you get out there looking for it, you have to say, okay, where am I going to get the money that's going to keep this business going, that's going to pay the wages? And you have to make absolutely sure that you are differentiating yourself and your business from all the other people like you and the businesses like yours that are all chasing this diminishing resource. So it's the people and it's the companies that spend more time and spend more effort on differentiating themselves and getting their plans right. They're the ones that are winning the finance out there. And the finance can come in terms of winning new customers, because that's the traditional and it's the best way of running a business. Financing the business by customer revenues. It's in terms of getting out there and convincing your local Enterprise Ireland rep or your Intertrade Ireland rep that you're worthy of getting a grant for market research or for a feasibility study. It's getting out there and convincing an angel financer that you're worth investing in and that he's going to get a return. Or indeed, if you're in the VC scale, they're going to want to see your plans of how you're planning the finances of your business, how you're spending it, how you're generating the revenues, how you're looking after the revenues when you win it, and how you're going to get them a return. So that's the key kind of message that I want to put across.
Yeah, and I think it's also understanding that every business decision you make has a financial consequence, and it's actually understanding the intricacies of your business decisions and how that impacts on finance. So this is not just about balance sheets, profit and loss accounts and cash flow. This is about understanding finance, and there's no escaping it. I mean, when we had a discussion about marketing, sales, I would say before we even do marketing and sales, finance is the absolute language of business.
Because it's such a broad subject, we will, I'd say, we'll be doing more modules as offshoots of the finance module. And one of the things that we're going to be looking at is the whole idea of forecasting. As a business person, you have to kind of be looking at 3 or 4 things every month. You have to know what's coming in, what's going out, what your cash flow is. They're the ones that you have to be on top of all the time, and you have to get your forecasting for those right. So we're going to be talking about some devices that people have been discussing on the site in terms of doing realistic forecasts, doing stretch forecasts, i.e. if things go better than planned, but also doing the doomsday scenario planning. So what happens if this order falls through and this forecasted revenue doesn't come through? How does that impact all through the business and what's going to do for your business? And you're going to need answers if things don't go as planned. And that's really the financial planning of your business moving forward.
And then just one last thing, I think that the key one you need to look at is break even, which is how much do you need to sell to cover your cost. But even more important, break even is how much do you need to sell to cover your cost and cover the income you want to achieve.